Hey everybody, it's Kiki. So we have episode 5 tonight. So I am doing, for episode 5, my cauliflowered fried rice. It is so good. And this can be vegan or non-vegan, depending on your mood, your preference, you doing your thing. So here we go. So I'm just gonna get right to it because I have some green onion in here and those can crisp up quickly. So I wanna get those on there. So a medium heat. I have a tablespoon of olive oil in the pan just to get those onions nice and soft. So what we're doing with that, it's just the whites. I kind of separated the whites and the green tops because the green tops, when you cook with them, and they're in there for a long time, they really get soggy. They get kind of black and not too pretty. So I have about 2 teaspoons in here. To add some color, I have 1/3 cup of chopped up red pepper. And so we're going to throw that in with it. And it takes a little bit of time to get everything to that, softer consistency. So I just want to get those in there first before I give you any of my little tips. So I'm just going to get this going, and I have it on medium, like I said before. Once I add the cauliflower, I'm going to turn it down slightly. So that's just going and doing its thing. So here is my cauliflowered rice. So this is gonna be this consistency for you to make. It's like small, grainy kind of look to it. So it kind of looks like rice, kind of looks like a mini popcorn. So that's what you want when you're doing this. And I've tried so many techniques, let me tell you, okay? So this is a cup. And throw that right in there. So I've tried so many techniques to make this perfect, the right consistency, so it looks like rice, but it's so tough, guys. So if it doesn't look 100%, don't worry about it. So I'm just gonna let this go, and I want to tell you a little bit about my technique. So I'm just gonna turn this down a little bit so it doesn't burn up on us, but we want it to, just kind of get right. All right, so what I've done before is I used to have a chopper that was fabulous. It was a little tiny mini one. It was my grandparents'. It was so old. It was from way back in the day. And the spring broke on it and heartbroken. I kept it for like 2 years until I got another one just because I was like, maybe I can fix it. Maybe I can find somebody, but I couldn't. So I basically use a chopper for that for a while, but sometimes it gets too fine and it just gets mushy. I've tried a grater, a regular grater. That didn't work. So what I've done, so as you can see, this here is a piece of cauliflower that's teeny, okay? It takes a little bit of work, it does, it's kind of aggravating. But what you're gonna do, take it, okay, twist off the little stem, and then you're just gonna crush it, okay? Crush it in your hand, and you're gonna get those little pieces of like the floret off. So this is kind of when you just crush it a little bit over the bowl. This is what that piece turned into, if you can kind of see it. So there's some like long pieces here. Just break that in half and you won't even know, okay? So this is kind of what you got to do. Just stand over the bowl and just kind of keep crushing those pieces. The stems like I have here, just throw it in if you want. Chop it up a little bit, but that's a lot of work. So just, throw those pieces in if you'd like, and then give it a little stir. It's hard because you have to find the perfect technique for yourself that works. And trying a bunch of different ones before I made this for you guys tonight, I was like, you know what? Like manual labor is the best way to get this one done. So I have everything just getting nice in here. You want to get it to, a slightly golden color. It's kind of almost there. Okay, so that's just some of the onions, cauliflower, and the red pepper. All right, so that's gonna do its thing. I can turn it up slightly. And it's easy. People get very impressed at a party if you, serve this and it looks good and you're like, oh yeah, it's cauliflower. No way, it's so good. So this here is looking good. It's gonna get slightly golden brown on the cauliflower, and that's where you want to see it before you start adding in everything else. So what I have here is I have a 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder and onion powder. You guys know me. my jam. And I have 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So this is maybe a little bit much, but I'm gonna see how much we use because tonight I usually do big batches of this with a whole head of cauliflower, but this right here is just a cup of cauliflower and a third of a cup of the pepper. So where are we at? All right, we're looking pretty good. All right, so simple side dish. So I'm going to add spices in there. And of course, I'm just going to add my normal pinch, like I said before, pinch of salt and a pinch of pepper. I'm just going to stir this to make sure everything is well combined. And now I can see that those little edges are getting golden brown. So it's that perfect time to add that soy sauce. All right, so I'm just going to start with half, which would be a tablespoon. Ooh, hear that? That's love. All righty. Ooh, it's getting messy. It's getting late. Well, not really. But I've been cooking all day. I'm on vacation this week. So I've been cooking all day and having fun all day, getting some work done. So that's awesome. All right. So here we go. As you can see, it does bring on that brown color that fried rice usually does. And usually I omit salt when I do this because the soy sauce already has some, but I'm using low sodium soy sauce. I usually always do when I'm making something. So I'm just going to let that, it's actually, even though it's already brown in color, it's going to caramelize even a little bit more because it's in that heat. All right, so I'm going to leave that, I'm pushing that in the middle. So what I usually do to garnish, you guys know, I'm big with the green onion. So if you were gonna be doing this recipe vegan, this is where you're gonna stop, okay? And then you can garnish with the bright green, and you're all set, ready to go. But if you're gonna bring this, you know, to a non-vegan level, make it a little bit more fried rice-like, you're going to add 2 scrambled eggs. So all I've done is scrambled 2 eggs with a tablespoon of water, just that makes it a little bit more fluffy. So I just, you know, scramble those up. And the way I do this is, because this is still kind of cooking, I push it off to the side, okay? So it's going to be off of the direct heat while I cook the egg. Move it over to the side. So the egg area is on the heat. Add a splash, about a tablespoon of olive oil. And I'm adding my beaten eggs into the pan, okay? And they're just gonna chill there, and you're just gonna mix them up in the pan. And if the cauliflower gets into it, that's fine, because that's where you're gonna be going anyways. But you wanna get that nice fluffiness of that egg over half of that. So you got a half on the burner. So these are gonna get going. If you need to turn it up slightly, back to medium, you can. So I think we pretty much have enough, you know, going here. We got a good amount of soy sauce in there, you know, not too much because we don't want it to be too overpowering. All right, so let's just mix this up. It's great to try to, you know, get good at something like a, you know, a certain type of food. You know, if it's Italian, if it's Chinese, you know, if it's Cape Verdean, something that, you know, necessarily, you know, I'm, you know, not Asian at all, but to get good at a few different dishes has been awesome. You know, this one here that's, you know, we do have regular fried rice that I do, but also there's the cauliflower fried rice. You put a spin on it, you know, keep it a little bit healthier. I do a lumpia recipe that's delicious, that's Asian. So I'm just gonna, these look pretty good. You just kind of want to make them fluffy and pretty. You do not want to burn them, whatever you do. So I will show you what the eggs look like. See? everything's kind of going to go into itself, which is fine. But those eggs, they're fluffy. You know, they're exactly where you want to be. You don't want them to be completely done because you're still going to cook this for a little while longer. So you're just going to now toss them in to your cauliflower. So simple. So simple. Awesome. Alrighty. So you have this dish going here. It's a little bit more egg to a cauliflower recipe on this one, but it's so good. The egg is really, really great in this dish. Alright. Now, if you want to make this a full meal, like a one dish meal, you can add chicken, you can add beef, you can add shrimp for more of a protein besides just the egg. So, you know, do whatever you wish. I'm just going to do the egg tonight. So, yeah, we're going to garnish with our usual, but I do want to put some of this in now to add another color. So we're going to put a little bit more of the green onion in. And then we're just going to give it a final toss, put it in a bowl, and we're good to go. And you can always drizzle a little bit more olive oil over the top if you'd like. You can add sesame seed. You can make this with, you know, different, like sesame oil or something like that rather than olive oil. I've always done olive oil. You can add water chestnuts. I've done that before. So it's really kind of, you know, to your own liking. Hello. Looks so good. Okie dokie. And then just an easy little technique with using half the burner like that. So I've also been thinking about doing like a technique video for you guys with different techniques, different things that I do when I get home from the grocery store with my food to keep it longer, to do like, you know, different things. So I have everything going here, and I'm going to add my little bit of garnish of green onion tops. These are actually from my garden. So excited. I actually had a garden this year. I didn't kill it. So I am so proud of myself. Okay. So we can add a little drizzle. You don't have to, but pick it up a notch. A little drizzle. A little bit in the cap of olive oil, like I said before. You don't want to, you know, do it just freehand because you don't want to worry about drowning it. All right. Look at this. Look how good this is. Like barely any of the calories you get with just regular fried rice. And like I said, you can make this vegan, or you can make it with just the egg like we have tonight. You can add chopped up chicken breast, you can add shrimp, you can add beef, you can do whatever you'd like to make this a full dish meal. So look at it. Oh, it's so, so good. And it looks like fried rice, doesn't it? Like it totally does. I'm looking here. Well, I mean, I'm a little biased, but come on, guys. Check it out. Look at it. All right. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. So this is episode 5. So thank you guys for, you know, tuning in week after week after week. I really, really appreciate it. So if you want to see that technique, you know, recipe, let me know, you know, put it in the comments, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks so much.